This is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. What am I riding today? It's yellow. It's yellow. It's got 20 inches of wheel size. The deer step through 20. Yeah. So where are we heading today? Nobody ever knows. Told you guys that. Don't know. Where should we go? Maybe we should head towards Bussy Woods. We keep saying that. We never seem to make it there. Okay, we need to turn on the GPS. I think that's the way to do it. We'll move up forward a little bit more and then I'll do it. I'll turn it on later. So anyway, what's been new with me? Well, a lot of people seem to like the ride down in Chicago. Yeah, you get to see the entire bike path. Well, okay, not the entire thing. If we went further south, you'd see even more. But yeah, you had a good ride there, right? Got to see some different things on a path we never took before. I mean, that is the main path for Chicago. I mean, I'd never gone on it before. I never had a bike rack before. Right, until Magicycle finally gave me a rack. KBO gave me a rack as well. So I'm talking about the rack that goes on the back of your car. Okay, without that we wouldn't have been able to do it. So yeah, we finally decided we needed to do it. I held on to that footage until recently for you guys to see, because I figured, you know, why see Chicago just a week later after we had done the Bike to Drive, which is basically the same thing but on Lakeshore Drive itself. We were running parallel to Lakeshore Drive on the bike path. So yeah, but you know, the thing is when you're on the bike path, you're actually closer to the water. Of course, you're closer to everybody else too. I mean, all the runners, the other bike riders, they're all there. I think, you know, having done that, I think to do that path properly, you got to feel comfortable doing at least 15 to 18 miles an hour. Just to keep up with everybody else. Otherwise, everyone would be flying past you. Well, okay, not everybody, but you know what I mean. You know, a lot of the guys that ride down there are kind of diehard bicyclists, and they're going to go kind of fast. So you have to feel comfortable with that, and comfortable that you need to go a little bit quicker. That's all I'm saying. So will we do it again? I'm sure we probably do it again maybe next year. Yeah. You know, I asked Mrs. Wright about it. I said, you know, will we do it again? She said, you know, she felt there was too many people, really. She liked the path, but she says it's a little nerve-wracking having to deal with all the people. That's true, yeah, that's true. I kind of feel the same way too. But if you wanna see the waterfront and you don't want to drive all the way to Wisconsin, the thing is though, for us to drive to the downtown area really isn't that much different from us driving to Wisconsin, where we live. So we can go either way, but you have a longer path to ride if you do the Chicago one. So, but people were telling me I can get free parking if I park at Montrose Harbor. Park there, get free parking, and then just ride south, because you'd be further north at that point. Just ride south all the way down as far as you want to go. I'm running over things. And so maybe we would do that instead. We had parked by the Adler Planetarium area. And yeah, they were kicking everybody out because of that Bears game they had going on. I mean, we paid for parking and everything, but we got back there, the person that does the meters and stuff, she was already kicking everyone off the streets. Yeah, we kind of felt that that's kind of not right, because, you know, I mean, Soldier Field has its own parking lot, but I guess they have so much overflow that they want even the street parking, even from the guys that have already paid for the street parking. So we got back just in time as she was coming around. She saw us loading the bike. She kind of gave us the look, but hey, you know, we still got to load the bike. You can't just throw us out and leave the bikes there. So she just kind of like, oh well, and kind of stormed off. Yeah, you know, in Chicago, you know, it's all political, of course, but yeah, our former Mayor Daley had sold off all the parking stuff to independent people. It's not even run by the city anymore. So all the money goes to these other companies now, or company, whoever they sold it to. Yeah, I don't think that was right. But, you know, we won't get into that can of worms. But, yeah, I think that should be the city. You know, you're paying money for the city. It's a city street. So, whatever. Get me started on that thing. This is one of the issues we always have. Let me set the GPS first. We always have with Chicago is that Chicago, sometimes we just do some things that doesn't make any sense. All right, let me get into this thing here. I'm gonna set the GPS here. Directions to Portillo's in Rolling Meadows.
Getting directions to Portillo's.
We always use Portillo's because it's right across from...
Starting route to Portillo's.
It's right across from the entrance of where we...
Turn left onto North Wilkie Road.
It's always right across from where we need to be for Velo Wave. Okay, now there goes right through the red stop sign. Yeah, see, I'm telling you, I'm not the only one. Yeah, that was a Velo Wave e-bike that just passed us. Velo Wave, not Velo Trick, different. No, you'll find that a lot of bike riders will pass the stop signs in our area. Yeah, we're not going to go talking about stop signs too again. We got enough stuff to worry about with the parking in Chicago. So anyway, yeah, people seem to like that particular ride. So yeah, thank you for watching it. I appreciate it. We'll do it again next year, you know.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto North Wilkie Road.
People also said too that the amount of people running, maybe they were practicing for the Chicago Marathon. That's a good possibility, because the marathon will happen this month, I think. So yeah, that's a very good possibility. Why we saw so many people there, and it's a Sunday. A weekend, of course, always has a lot of people. So I just was surprised that, you know, Sunday morning, early in the morning, there'd be that many people. But they're doing the same thing we were doing, try to get in their time while they can. And earlier in the morning, it's a little cooler. You know, it's not going to be as hot. There we go. I did look around the stop sign. I always look around the stop sign, you guys know that. But people new to the channel don't know that. So they'll always make comments about my stopping or lack of stopping or whatever. So, what else is new? Okay, another bike came in for review. This is the bike I've been waiting for. Surprisingly, it's not the bike that I was expecting. Yeah, well, it is the bike I was expecting, but I had in my mind that it was a different kind of bike. Yeah, but it isn't. It's totally different than what I thought it was going to be. And it also came in as a step over. I had requested a step through, and it came in a different color on top of that. So three things took me by surprise. Different style bike than what I expected. Step over instead of step through, and a different color. You'll see that review eventually once I start playing with it and get used to it. All right, so that's new. That came in through FedEx. Yeah, FedEx says, oh, it's going to come in Monday. No, we're moving it to Saturday. It'll be between 10 and 2 o'clock on Saturday. Yeah, that never showed up. And then showed up on Monday. It says till the end of the day is usually what they say now. I've learned that when it says till the end of the day, it'll probably show up really late. And then, yeah, it showed up at about 5:15 p.m. But of course, you don't know when it's coming in, so they kind of hold you up all day long. So I stayed in yesterday. I didn't go riding. That's okay though, in a sense, because I had already made another video in preparation for that potential possibility. I mean, we're talking FedEx, guys. So we know that's probably going to happen, right? And it did, yeah. Yeah, it happened. They weren't on time, like they said, and then they held you up for the whole day. Yep, that's what's going on. So what else is happening? Well, the weather is going to be in the 80s this week. So we have to start out early enough so that we have enough coolness to be able to ride around. You know, when it gets really hot, like mid 80s, I don't really feel like going out then. I know some of you guys go out when it's really hot, so yeah, what am I to complain about, right? But yeah, if I have an option, I'd rather be in the cool than the hot. We just do it in the morning. All right, gotta hop off the bike. So what else? Yeah, we did that video on the Enway X24. I changed out the stem. If it was a little taller, it'd be a little bit better. You know, some people have said, well, why don't you just turn the stem around, make it closer to you? Yeah, then it looks funny. It looks like, hey, how come this guy's stem is sticking out the wrong way? So no, I'm not gonna do that. It's not so bad, you know. The other stem, you know, it's just a straight out stem, so there's no height to it. This one is an adjustable stem that you could tilt forward. I tilted it up as high as I can, and yeah, it's not bad. It's okay. But like I said, maybe another 2 more inches higher would be even better. So I don't know if they make anything. I'm sure they probably make something, but I had that stem laying around, so I might as well use it. So our battery's S84. We're not going to be able to do all of Bussy Woods because, again, I haven't been charging up the batteries as much in preparation for the possibility of I might not take that battery back out again and like. So we'll head towards Bussy Woods. We may not go into it, and maybe very little bit turn around, come right back. Because if I do the entire Bussy Woods, it's like a 12-mile commitment around that area. Plus the mileage to get there and the mileage to get back. It might be too much for the one battery. I didn't bring the second battery. So, didn't bring my tools either as I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm getting forgetful, I'm telling you. Let's better hope nothing happens. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a small bag. Like a really lightweight bag that has just a couple of the most important hex drivers, and then also one that's an all-in-one hex driver thing, you know, where all the hex drivers are all kind of compacted all together into one unit. Bring one of those, and then bring maybe the 3 most used sizes, which I think typically is 4, 5, and 6 millimeters. Those are the ones that are used the most. I mean, the small little ones are used for, you know, you gotta adjust your bell, or you gotta adjust your some other thing that requires a small hex driver. But yeah, don't really need to bring that on a daily basis. Skip the bike lock unless I really think I'm gonna go someplace where I'm gonna need to lock the bike up. And then just cut down the weight, because really when I put that thing on the front basket of any of the bikes, it makes the front less stable. Oh, we need to turn here. Let me make the turn. I think this is where we need to go. Yeah, okay. So so then if I have something smaller, I can put it in the front basket. It won't, you know, unbalance the bike as much. I think when you have heavy stuff like that, even though you have a front basket, it's really better on the rear rack. Yeah. Your bike is a little more stable that way. But if I'm carrying a secondary battery on the rear rack, I really can't put it on the back there. So, plus if I had a smaller option, I could maybe bring something when I take that X24 Engwe out. You know, that thing doesn't have anything. I mean, no place to put your bottle, water bottle or anything. So it's a cool bike, but it's not as practical in that sense. All right, I'll take it right here. Still like riding it though. It's kind of fun. It's a fun bike. So what about this new bike that came in? You know, I can't really talk too much about stuff when the review hasn't yet come out. But I'll tell you this, it's a full-size bike. It's a 26 by 4-inch fat tire bike, and it's very reasonably priced. And it has hydraulic brakes too. I'm actually very shocked at how much stuff they're giving you nowadays with some of the companies. It's got hydraulic brakes. Did I say shocks? Hydraulic brakes at a price that, you know, is unheard of. They would never have given that to you even just a year ago. They would have never given you hydraulic brakes at the price point that this bike is at. And so I haven't ridden it yet. I don't know how good or how bad it is, but component-wise, it seems like it's got some decent components for the price. That was a Rad Runner, yeah. It's their utility bike. Yeah, we're seeing more e-bikes. Yeah, surprising me. It's surprising me now. I don't think this is the same way we usually take. I'm just following the Apple Maps to see what it tells me to do. It might be. It could be just on a different street. That's all. You know, we're heading in the direction that we need to be heading. Sometimes these maps change the actual streets on you. But I'm not going really fast because, like I said, I know that the battery wasn't topped off this morning. You know, a problem about leaving the batteries not fully charged before, you know, after doing the ride is that sometimes I don't know which bike I'm going to take, and then at the last minute I decide to take the bike, and then the battery's not charged up. Then you want to go. So you really don't want to just like wait around while it's topping off. So you got to make decisions a day in advance. Yeah, sometimes that's kind of hard to do. Halloween things are out. Okay, yeah, this is a street we've done because here's a school. We passed this last time. Yeah, and last time meaning the last video we did. I wasn't really sure which way to go. Yeah, this thing may still end up taking me to streets I'm not familiar with, but I think this is the way to go. One way to go. I know this is one way we go to come back, because I remember seeing the schools usually on my left-hand side, not my right-hand side. So the Deere 20, of course, has cruise control, which I like. Some people don't. For me, because I do use the throttle quite a bit, especially when I'm on camera. Of course, I'm never really on camera. I'm behind the camera. Well, actually, the camera's in front of me, but you don't see me. It's because it's on my chest. You know what I mean. I don't pedal a lot when I'm recording because I will definitely sound winded if I do it. So, so rather than having to hold down the throttle the entire time, you know, the cruise control does help. Now, the cruise control does take a little bit of time to get used to, because like here, if I throttle down hard right now, like I'm doing right now, and then let go, this thing could take off on me and go full 28 miles per hour. You just gotta need to know how to deal with it. If you push down slightly, like I'm doing now, you hold it down for 8 seconds, it'll kick in. Now, if you want the cruise control to stop, you have to tap the brakes or pedal forward, okay? But now that it's on cruise control, if you try to hit the throttle again to go faster, it won't do it, of course. You have to cancel out of cruise control before you can move quicker. And I think for some people, they don't like that. They prefer that, you know, if they're on cruise control, if they push down on it again, it should take off right away. I think they do this for the safety purposes, because if you're on cruise control, you let go and you think you need more power and you hit it, you might not know that you're already doing it, and you may forget, and then you try to hit it and it's going when you don't want it to go. Okay, road is closed, detour. All right, so we're gonna have to take a right here. We'll have to follow the detour at this point. So yeah, you just gotta get used to it. I mean, if you have multiple bikes, I can see where this could be a problem for you, because some bikes will do it this way and some bikes won't do it this way. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. But many people don't have multiple bikes; they have the one bike, and so once you're used to it, you're used to it. It's just a matter of getting used to things. That's all. It's not a big deal. I'm used to it, so it doesn't bother me. Does not bother me. So what about left-hand throttles versus right-hand throttles then? How do I feel about that? I prefer the right-hand throttle, of course. I'm right-handed. I'm used to more bikes having the right hand, but I understand why some have to be on the left, because especially the ones that have trigger shifters for their shifters, usually when you see that, it's going to be a left-hand throttle. Those things are pretty big, and it eats up a lot of space, so they don't really have room to put the throttle. So they'll throw it over to the right, to the left-hand side. So yeah, if you're ever looking at a bike to consider, and you see it says, yeah, it's got trigger shifters, start looking at the photos to see if the throttle's on the left, because the chances are it will be. If that bothers you, then you definitely have to, you know, make another consideration of something else then. But I've kind of gotten used to both sides, but my preference obviously would be on the right-hand side. All right, so let's go 500 feet, so it's not here. Yeah, definitely a different way to go. I forgot my water bottle. How do you like that? I need my water bottle. I need my water bottle right now, and I don't have it. Okay, we'll let her go first. She has right away. All right, and then we'll go. It's the problem with stop signs. You know, you gotta hop off, you gotta hop back on. It's not that convenient. So anyway, I was looking at my GoPro, and I noticed that I think I don't know how long I've been doing it now. I've set my settings for wide angle. There is a super wide. I used to do the super wide, but the problem with the super wide, it is so wide that any vertical thing that you pass up, whether it's a flagpole or a tree or a stop sign or whatever, it tends to look like it's bending in. Have you seen those type of things? So although I like the width that shows you more of the scene, I don't like the bending of things. So the wide tends to still have that little bending effect. All wide angle lenses do, but it's more minimized compared to the super wide. So that's what we've been recording for the last several months, I think. It's been on wide rather than super wide. Some of my earlier videos, you might have noticed it was on super wide. It looks kind of strange, right? You get to see more of the view. That's what I kind of liked, but yeah, I don't like that bending. That bending effect looks kind of weird. So am I going to upgrade the GoPro? Because I think the GoPro now is on a GoPro 12. No, I have no desire to upgrade. It really won't do that much for us. We're able to do what we need to do. It has better overheating capabilities, because the GoPro is notorious for overheating. And this Hero 10 that I have will overheat, but it doesn't overheat for us because it's mounted on my chest. We got wind blowing against it all the time since I'm riding forward. If I wasn't on a bike and I was recording other stuff that's more stationary, then yeah, I would upgrade it, because the overheating is better. I mean, it still overheats. Don't think it doesn't, but it overheats less. takes longer to overheat. So in that sense, the 12 would be good for that, but it doesn't affect me. Not yet, it hasn't affected me. All right, where are we? I don't know what's over on our right-hand side. It's like, what is that? The dog's doing its business. I don't know. It looks like a golf course, but it isn't. Oh, it's just wide open grass out there. Okay, let's see. Where does it say? 500 feet. Take a right. West Orchard Place.
Turn right onto West Orchard Place.
Yeah, this is a different way of going, so I don't know why I picked it this way. But let's do it. I tend to follow whatever the GPS tells us to do. It's just a little easier for me, but yeah, I saw these videos where people are following the GPS thing and they'll follow it right into the ocean because it gives them wrong direction. And then, yep, into the water they go. People have fallen off a cliff too because I think I saw one that said that they'd never repaired this bridge or something like that, and GPS doesn't know that, so it tells him to go, and it's late at night and dark and he doesn't know the area, and right off the cliff. So yeah, you got to be careful with GPS. It's not always the best thing, but for a guy like me who has terrible direction, bad memory, can't remember where he's heading, I have to rely on the GPS. All right, so this thing, we're doing New Wilkie Road, which we always do, but this is taking me way back here, which means I have to ride the road itself, which of course is a busy road. Luckily, there's no cars right now.
In about 1 mile, turn right onto Place.
So we got about a mile on New Wilkie Road to go on. This is where the Chinese restaurant is. Yeah, Chinese carryout. No, we're not going to do that today, though. Not today. And I guess this Marathon gas station's out of business now because that seems all closed up. That must be recent, I think. I don't know. Don't know when that shut down. Thought it was opened for a while. It's not now. So now, you can go up on the sidewalk, but you got people walking. There's always overgrown trees and bushes. It's not as much fun to do that. So we will compete with the cars right now. But again, got a number of cars behind me, and I'm taking a third of the lane. So if they want to pass me, they're going to have to move to the other lane. We are going rather quick, though. Oh, good thing there's nobody behind me. Guy turned off. We typically, I'll do 28 miles an hour down this road because it is a 40-mile-per-hour lane. If nobody's behind me, I'm not doing it. I'll do around 20, 21 or so, something like that. Still need to conserve the battery. Gotta make it home, you know. We're about 72%. Typically for this Magicycles, I usually don't try to go below 12% because I know it'll start to kick off at that point. You could use the actual voltage too. I just haven't changed it over. So I think the other times, based on different directions, it doesn't push me this far back on this road. It takes me on some side streets further, and then when I get on this road, it's a shorter amount of time on the road. So although we're heading in the same place, same road, it's just I prefer not to be a mile and a half away on this road. But I think the last time we actually did Bussy Woods, we saw elk. Yeah, if you haven't seen that video, look for rather recent videos from me, and it shows elk on the thumbnail. Yeah, sometimes the elk are just right there, you know, and then we were lucky last time. Sometimes they're off to the side somewhere, you can't see them. They're kind of used to people being around. It's almost like a zoo at this point, but it's open. It's not caged in. They're fenced off, of course, but they're not in a cage or anything like that. They've been there many years. Yeah, that area is called Elk Grove Village, so they should have elk, right? All right. Now, others have said, how come you don't go and do Portillo's? Yeah, they got good hot dogs, but I usually just get a Costco hot dog when I want a hot dog. I get a Costco hot dog with a drink for $1.50. I don't know what a Portillo's hot dog is nowadays. $3.99 maybe? I'm guessing $4 almost. We should actually pass this road up here while we can. Yeah, we were lucky. Usually I'm stuck at the light. Not this time. This time we had the light. Alright, we can get rid of this route because we're already in the area. So let's try to get rid of this stuff here. There we go. Turn off the phone. Yeah, the one thing I noticed with the phone, okay, and when I was watching that last video that we did, because of the shutter of the camera, tends to make the screen on the phone look like it's rolling. You ever seen that effect before? Yeah, so apparently the display screen and the shutter effect of the camera aren't perfectly in sync to be smooth looking. Look like little black lines going up the screen. That's not a fault of anything. It's just that refresh rates and all that other type of stuff. I don't know what causes that, but they're not together. They're not in sync. Nothing wrong with the phone. Nothing wrong with the camera. It's just like sometimes when you're shooting something that has a display screen, like it has, you know, you're looking at numbers or whatever, you see it flickering, right? Or have you ever watched any of the car reviews? You know, the guy's shooting a car and the tail lights are blinking, right? And it's not blinking. It's just that it's not in sync with the camera, and it causes that effect. So. Yeah, if you ever see that in the future on my screen of my camera, seems like it's, hey, how come these black lines are going up and down it? Yeah, it's just the camera thing doing it that way. So here we are in October already. I can't believe I really kind of feel like the summer went by so fast, and now we're already in the fall, and leaves are going to start coming down soon. Some of it's already coming down, if you can see. But I was taking a look at our city information. They tell you when to expect leaf pickup and all that stuff on the streets. I go, wow, they're already talking leaf pickup. They only do it 3 times. too. And so you got to get your leaves out onto the street so they can do a collection. And sometimes the leaves just don't come down fast enough. You know, by the first collection, there's not even anything off the trees yet almost. So I mean, why bother? But I understand why they do it, because they got to do all the streets, and so they have to schedule it out. But I always keep thinking, man, I hope they schedule ours later in the year because, you know, sometimes those leaves are still up on the trees. Then you got to bag it for collection, and then the bag collections only go up to a certain time too. Well, it's cool over here. You know, you're in the shade, you're nice and cool. Yeah, I have my long sleeves on anyway. This is the thing that protects me with the UV. That's why I wear long sleeves, even though it's going to be a hot day today. It's not hot yet. It's warming up though. I can feel the warmth starting to kick in a little bit. There's a lot of geese on the grass up ahead. The thing is, I can see stuff better than you can on the camera, because the camera makes things look a little small sometimes. But if you can look on the left and the right, we got a ton of geese. Yeah, and then when they walk across, they are pooping all over the place and making a mess. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't have all these geese. Somehow the Canadian geese came down. Now there are geese, I guess. All right, now it shows October 5th, some type of event going on here. It was on there. I recall, you know, when I had that person said that motorized vehicles aren't allowed on this path. They were doing some type of walk at that time, I think, too. Yep, I did not know that. And then criticisms came in that said, why are you riding a bike on a walking path? Hey, it is a bike path too, okay? It is not just a walking path. See some of these signs here? 5K walk run, okay? October 7th, Saturday. So obviously I'm not going to come at that point then, right? All right. I just stopped to look at the sign a little bit there. Yeah, I'm not gonna come on those days now that I know it. But yeah, that was when that woman said that to me. So here's a couple of interesting things too. Okay. Yeah, I turned off the comments on that video because we were getting a lot of comments that were kind of nasty comments. I says, I don't need to deal with this. So we turned off the comments. You know what some people do now? They see that video, then they go to a current Russ is Right video, and then they make a comment there. Yeah, well, you know what that happens then when you do that. Yeah, not so good. Recently we had somebody commented on a video about that video, saying that he will never watch another video from me because I turned the comments off on that one video. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. But that's what he said he's going to do. I figured, oh, okay, I'm fine with that. You don't want to watch me because I don't let you comment on one video. So now he can't comment on any video, if you get my drift. Alright, we're at 58%. I think we're going to end up having to turn around. I'm just moving up to a certain point, then I'm just going to turn around. Got to make sure we have enough battery to get home, right? I think we'll go up to the bridge area, turn around, and come right back. Snowmobiles prohibited. That's the kind of motorized vehicles they're talking about. Snowmobiles, motorcycles, dirt bikes, gas-powered bikes, gas-powered vehicles, that kind of stuff. They're really not talking about an electric bicycle, right? It is a bicycle still, overall. We've had other people comment, hey, you're taking a Class 3 bike on that thing. It's only for Class 2 bikes. Well, if you're only riding 15 miles an hour, what really difference does it make? Oh, he could do 28 miles per hour. He shouldn't be on the thing. if you're not doing the 28 miles per hour, does it really make a difference? If it's a class 1, 2, or 3? If everyone's riding at the same 15 miles per hour or so, or whatever it is, does it really make that much difference? Now you're gonna go over 15 miles an hour every now and then. Like right now we're doing like what, 16.9? It's gonna happen. Can you regulate 2 miles an hour? Are you that good in your riding? Hey, if we look at some of the guys that were riding like in Chicago on that path, come on, those guys are going way faster than us. Way. I don't know how fast those guys go. 20 something miles an hour, easy. They're zipping past everybody. Yeah, they're allowed on the path. They don't have a motor. Yeah, well, their legs are making that thing go faster than some of the guys with the e-bikes, right? So yeah, you can't really, they really do need to change it so that it's regulated by speed. If they're gonna regulate something, regulate it by speed, not by the fact that it's either an e-bike or class of 1, 2, 3, whatever. Who really cares? Who really cares? Okay, the people who care are the people who complain. Those are the guys who care. Not that it really affects them that much, but they care. Alright, so do you guys prefer to see the greenery or do you prefer to see the streets? A lot of people like the greenery. I prefer the streets because I have less hassles with people when I'm on the street. When you're on a bike path, you have hassles from bystanders who view the videos. Then they have to comment. It's almost like, what do they call that? Monday night quarterbacks or what do they call that? What's the phrase that they use on that? Where you're, hey, he should have done this and he should have done that, you know. It's almost like being a backseat driver, right? Yeah, those guys. Yeah, I like going over the bridges. It's always kind of cool to go over the bridge. So we'll go over the bridge, hang out for a little bit, turn back around, go back. And then we should have enough battery to get us there and back. I don't think we started out at 100%, but now Bussy Woods, of course, has its own little lake system in here. I fished Bussy before. We've caught, not in this area, but part of Bussy, we've caught bullheads out here, kind of like a catfish, right? And we've caught, I'm gonna turn around, but I'm gonna go up here to do it. Go down this way, swing around, and come back. Caught I don't know what else I caught. Not much though, let's put it that way. I haven't been very successful. And you see there's water up ahead, but I actually prefer to fish off of Lake Michigan, catch the salmon that's stocked in there. Those are big fish. Yeah. I think my biggest one was around 36 inches, and most of them are in the upper 20s, low 30-inch ranges if you're catching something good. All right, we'll let this guy go past first, or this woman. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on Lake Michigan. Couldn't catch anything there either. And then I posted on one of the fishing forums. I says, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going out there all the time. I'm not catching anything. I see other people to the left and the right of me. They're catching stuff. What am I doing wrong? So one guy actually took pity on me and says, he sent me a message. He says, here's how you need to do it. And he says, and on top of that, go to Wisconsin. Don't go where you were going. So yeah, so I took his advice, and that's when I started catching fish. So all it takes sometimes is one guy to take pity on you and give you some hints on how to do it right? So anyway, we became Facebook friends then as well. And then I think a couple years later, we were mentioning people that we know, and then I mentioned my my cousin-in-law, and he goes, "Oh, you're his cousin-in-law?" He knows him too. And So he goes, yeah, we fish sometimes together out in Belmont Harbor in Chicago. And so that's how he got to know my cousin-in-law. And so yeah, small world sometimes. So he helped out a guy that was a cousin of a friend of his. Didn't even know it. Kind of funny. But you know, if you're nice and you help people, you know, works out that way sometimes. All right, so the Deer 20, I've heard some people say that the suspension is not good enough for them. Well, it's not going to bounce around like a suspension seat post might. You can adjust those things. This thing is not an adjustable suspension. Is it an adequate suspension in the back though? For me it is, but I'm a heavy guy. So I said, I really don't know how well this suspension works on someone that's lighter in weight. I know if Mrs. Wright got on it, she'd probably say this thing doesn't feel any different to me. But Mrs. Wright doesn't weigh anything in comparison to me. Yeah, so I mean, she's way down there in weight. So yeah, we're kind of mismatched in weight. That's for sure. Okay. I never used to weigh as much as I do now. That's for sure. I was always overweight when we got married, but not like this. But I attribute a lot of it to when my knees started having problems and I wasn't as active anymore. That's when the weight starts gaining, right? And you have nothing better to do. You're sitting at home and eating, so that's not good. Yeah, Mrs. Wright doesn't do that. Mrs. Wright has a normal good diet. You know, she eats a lot of salads and stuff. So yeah, she's normal weight. So would the Deer help her? It might. She's never been on it. She has no interest in being on it. I don't know why. She's never been on it. She's ridden the Ocelot Pro, and I just told her, I says, you know, it's kind of like an Ocelot Pro with the suspension. Yeah, she's never had an interest. Yep, that's the way it is. Many of you have also told me too that your own spouses sometimes don't have the same interests that you might have either. I think that's just the difference between guys and girls, right? Things we like, they might not like. Same thing as things they like, we might not like. Same thing. It's no different. That's why people are different. So, yep, nice casual ride. Early morning, night. Well, it's not early morning. It's 10:10 right now. But nice morning ride. let's call it just a morning ride. All right, we're just gonna head back. I won't keep you. I appreciate you guys following along. Sometimes I let these things run because, like I said, you guys keep me company. If I turn the camera off, I have no one to talk to. I'm not gonna talk to myself. Of course, I am talking to myself now, but I know you're listening later, right? So, but if I turn the camera off and start talking to myself, then I would feel that it's a little strange. I have a purpose. I have a purpose right now to talking, right? Of course, other people I know when I'm passing them, they might say, why is this guy talking? You know, the thing is, it doesn't look as strange anymore because people have cell phones, right? They have earpieces and stuff like that. So when you're talking, what looks like you're talking to yourself nowadays compared to days on past in the past, you don't look as strange because people expect to see people talking to themselves because they got earpieces on. Well, if you look close, I don't have an earpiece on, and yet I'm still talking. So what I usually do is as I'm passing people, you'll notice that I usually stop talking because I know that they can hear me, and so rather than drawing more attention to myself, which I already, you know, look, I'm on a yellow bike. I've got an orange vest on right now. Come on, I'm drawing attention to myself right there. Okay, the geese are there. Do we run them over? They're moving away. They're running. They're honking. Well, at least they moved away. Some of them don't. Some of them, they'll just keep crossing. They'll honk and cross. Alrighty, anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. More videos to come. Talk to you guys later.